for this year's Apprentice final have been chosen.
Last night, Lord Sugar fired not one, not two, but 3 apprentices after a terrifying round of interviews by the tycoon's trusted advisors. Of course, there were the usual discrepancies on CVs, which caused a few red faces, if not downright fibs, to be honest, and left some digging rather large holes for themselves.
Well, this morning, the 3 fired candidates are here. Before we reveal who they are, here's Lord Sugar's verdict.
I can show you everything I've done.
No, I don't believe a word you say, Stuart, now. I'm annoyed with myself, Stuart. I'm annoyed with myself that you have been allowed to come this far through the process. And that is the first time that this weakness has come out. I'm annoyed with myself. Stuart, you are fired.
Thanks for the opportunity, Lord Sugar.
With regret, I have to say that I can't see where you can slot in the organisation. But you leave here with your head high.
Thank you.
Let me tell you that. You leave here with your head high because you're a prime example of someone who's prepared to work hard and sling yourself into things. You've done very, very well.
Thank you.
Joanna, I'm sorry to say you're fired.
Thank you.
Stella, you're in the final.
Oh, thank you so much.
Jamie, I think you've come to the end of the road. I'm letting you go. Jamie, you're fired.
Jamie, Lester, Joanna Riley and Stuart Baggs, the brand, are all here now.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know whether I can cope with your extreme masculinity,
Look at the way you sit, look at this. Look at the way he's sitting. Do you always sit like that?
I don't know whether you saw Dara, but I do have a new fragrance out at Christmas called Extreme Masculinity for Men. So you'll naturally be getting a free sample.
Of course. Oh, well, so why? What went wrong?
Why,
do you think?
what? There's so many whys that could be asked in so little time. What went wrong? There was 101 reasons why I should have been fired. I think it's pretty accepted now that the reason I did get fired wasn't quite correct. I mean, no, I never claimed to have a full telecoms licence, but the company I run is fully licensed. But
you said you the whole full licence telecom thing.
And to be honest, it's quite a boring technical point, and I think a lot of people think, how was it blown out of proportion? The reason is because there was 101 reasons why I should have got fired. I mean, too loud, unmanageable, allegedly, loose cannon. These are all things that have been said. So it was definitely my time to go the week before. I mean, Liz should have gone through. But
gosh, humility here on the sofa.
Well, don't get used to it. There's, it's not a theme, but...
Joanna, it was very sad. I mean, because obviously it was upsetting for you. You almost out of that chair before you actually heard the words "you're fired."
I did.
You knew it was coming.
I did. I knew it was coming. I knew that it was the end of the road for me. I thought, you know, I had the biggest journey on The Apprentice. I was known as the bulldozer to start off with. And when Lord Sugar told me that, you know, I took it on board. And, you know, it proves that what I did take on board, I got to the final 5, and I'm really extremely proud of myself.
Although in the interviews, what they seem to be saying was you had doubts about yourself, because you'd go in there and you'd say, you know, that rather than you had a cleaning business and you were an entrepreneur, you would say that you were being tagged as the cleaner. No, and that's something that upset you.
No, I'm proud to be a cleaner. You know, that's what pays my mortgage, that's what pays my bills. I'm proud, and I don't want people to get the wrong impression of me where, you know, I feel like I'm too good to be a cleaner. It's not that. Like all the other candidates.
No, they were saying big yourself up.
Yeah, definitely. And I didn't have the confidence, and I think that's something that I should have had.
Yeah. Jamie, Joanna talking about journeys. The trouble is, your journey, they seem to think, was going downhill.
Yeah.
You started up brightly.
and they, you know, they picked up on it. I started, you know, in my zone, and I was doing very well, and I just lost momentum, you know, sort of towards the end. Yeah.
Also, going back to the interview thing, you did put some rather personal information on your CV, which may not have been a great idea. Let's have a look.
Now, if I asked, what is the most interesting thing about you? I own 3 properties in the UK, 2 in Cyprus and a Porsche, all before the age of 25. Did I mention I have a 3rd nipple?
Third nipple.
Yes.
No.
You're laughing.
No,
I'm not. 1 or 2 pages later on, what's the worst lie you've ever told? That I have a 3rd nipple. Is that supposed to make me laugh?
No, it's just...
Think of a word that applies to that
stupid.
response. Puerile.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's frightened,
ouch.
Margaret, isn't she?
Well, she never used to be like that, did she?
She's quite
we've had her on the sofa. She's been absolutely lovely.
She had every right. You know, I wrote something so silly on the application form, and it was purely in jest because on the application form, they write very similar questions, and I wanted to stick out from the crowd. I never expected to get onto the programme, never mind about to the interview round.
That's where you get caught out, because you say things to draw attention to yourselves, obviously to shine, but why do you write such daft things on your CV?
It was purely because, you know, why are you so unique? Why are you so different from everyone else?
Yeah.
What have you done differently? And they're all very similar questions. So in the end, I gave my usual blurb of, you know, what I've done since, you know, by the age of 25, and at the end I just wrote, plus I have a third nipple. And then question 20 on the application form, it says, what's the biggest lie you've told? And, well, I've got a third nipple.
The thing is, once you say it and it's on film, it's there forever. So, Stuart,
I think you say that.
I know. Well, just because there was so many gems from you, and one of them when you were in the boardroom was, I'm not a one-trick pony nor a 10-trick pony, but a whole field of ponies.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
And I'm starting a pony trekking experience with Kristen, so again, you'll be getting an invite.
And who was it that said it? Was it they said to you, one of the interviewers said to you, you're not a big fish, you're not even a fish?
Yeah, and I don't really know what relevance he had to saying I wasn't a fish. I mean, you know, I'm not many things, I'm not an astronaut, but, you know, they're just trying to tear, as Jamie said, they put a stick of dynamite in your CV and they try and blow it apart.
It may have been painful for you, but it's good fun to watch. So,
excruciating.
Here we are.
You are not a brand. You're not a brand.
I think I might be.
Fine. Let's explore this a bit further then. Why would somebody as successful, as innovative, as big dreamer, as a brand as you, why would you want to have a job with Lord Sugar?
Because at the minute I'm a big fish in a small pond.
You're not a big fish. You're not a big fish. You're not even a fish.
Yeah, it was worth seeing again, wasn't it? Not even a fish. Joanna, but a whole field of ponies.
Yeah. Joanna, the mantra in business as in anything else is, let's see, fail to prepare, prepare to fail.
Definitely.
You know what we're talking about, don't you?
Yes.
Come on.
We're going to have a look.
Obviously, if you're going to go and apply for a role in a company, you want to know what that organisation was and what it did and how it worked, wouldn't you?
Yes, definitely.
So you do know?
What Lord Sugar does in this Vigilin. Vigilin.
Vigilin, yeah.
Vigilin, sorry.
Yeah, what does Vigilin do? That's a good start. We'll start with that.
IT communications.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Sell computers. To schools, medical industry.
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm asking you, yeah.
Well, I'm asking you. You should be telling me.
That's as far as that's what I know.
What other companies does he have?
Well, I know now he doesn't have the AMSAir. That's no longer going on.
Oh, he does have AMSAir.
Oh, okay. That was
Amstrad.
Okay.
That's the company he doesn't have anymore.
What? Homework?
You know what? In all honesty, I did know what Lord Sugar done, but in them interviews, the pressure's on, and sometimes, I know it's no excuse, but when you get asked a question, your mind just goes blank, and you'll see from there when Borden asked me, I actually did know his businesses, but because he was still egging me on, I thought that there was more to tell him.
If they held up our interviews when we did when we were 20, you know, I mean,
but
it would
also
be horrendous.
You get in a high-pressure situation,
you get high pressure,
and your brain just betrays you, doesn't it?
Definitely.
That's true, that's true. And Stuart, one thing that interviewers don't seem to like is informality. Let's have a look.
Nice to meet you. Stuart.
Nice to meet you, but would you normally address an interviewer in this position by their first name when you haven't met?
Perhaps not. I just feel like I've known you because obviously I've seen you before.
Yes, but you don't.
Miss Mountford.
That's better, thank you.
I put you in your place.
And did you think then, that's it?
No, to be honest, at the time I thought, well, if that's going to be an issue, greeting somebody by their first name in a quite a friendly manner, it wasn't as if I was rude, clearly my intentions were good. If somebody, and this applies for any job, if they're going to take sort of displeasure with you for saying it, then the job's clearly not for you. I'd want to say, Stuart, how's things? But actually she just, you know, gave me the steeliest look I think she's ever done. Her eyebrows went through the roof and I just thought, no, I'm not going to get this job.
Jamie, these weren't interviews, these were interrogations, really, weren't they?
It was really, really tough, and you know, go into the process, and we've all watched the show before, so we know what we're putting, you know, ourselves in for. But it was something else, really something else.
Who's the toughest one for you?
Well, Margaret, you know, she was unforgiving, and you know, Borden as well. You know, with Joanna, she answered the question, but tripped her up by, "Are you telling or you're asking me?" And you know, with the pressure, because you all want the job so much, and you've come so far, you just don't want to fall on the final hurdle.
Do you think they're tougher this year than they have been in previous years?
I don't know. I think probably they were tougher because I was in it and they just would loving the opportunity to smash me down.
Why?
Because I think when you set yourself up as quite a bigger character as myself, there's only two ways you're going to end the process. One is to have a dramatic fall, or the other is to get the job. And
Yes, your fall was quite dramatic, as Borden managed to show us.
Yeah.
You're blagging to me. I know what ISP.
Yeah.
It's an internet service protocol, and that's what you're providing. It's not a telecoms operating licence. It's a protocol that allows telecoms over bandwidths.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I deliver. I deliver, you know, triple play services.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
So that is a telecoms company, in my mind.
Well, yeah, OK. Well, that's maybe the trigger here, in your mind.
Absolutely,
but
your definition
according
might be
to
different from mine.
Well, it's not my definition. It's the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
It's the Licensing and Compliance Officer's definition.
Absolutely, sorry, I never caught your name. Sorry.
So you haven't got attention to detail either.
No, sorry, what was your name?
Borden.
Borden. You're managing director of Viglin?
I've been running Alan Sugar's companies for the last nearly 25 years.
OK.
All right, and so that's why I know a little bit about technology.
Yeah, oh, pleased to meet you then. Thanks very much. Can I ask, just before you go, what is Stuart Baggs, the brand? What is the brand that is
Well,
Stuart?
I don't think anyone would dispute that I have a unique way about doing everything. And, you know, if you say you're a brand, you gradually become one. And, you know, the brand will develop. I think we've gone from a well-known supermarket chain's value label, and we're eventually getting up towards a premium product.
Joanna, what's your brand? Are you a brand?
Joanna the brand, yeah. We could do a his and hers.
You could be Joe brand. Oh, it's taken already. OK. And Jamie?
My brand?
Yes.
Well, what I want to do is take my 14 years of property experience further, offer it to a wider audience, you know, maybe become the next Phil Spencer, maybe. And I'm also working very closely with the Royal British Legion. I'm trying to put on quite a spectacular event on 11/11/11, which is, of course, Remembrance Day.
All right. So you're all in gainful employment?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. It's that extreme masculinity fragrance is doing it for you, isn't it?
I'm working on a range of branded products.
The fragrant pony.
And invisible calculators.
Can I just say that I have still got my cleaning business, but I'm looking for investment and new ways to do it.
OK, we have to stop there. No.
And I've got an autobiography.
Enough already. You know what? You had enough advertising on The Apprentice.
If you missed, thanks very much. If you missed last night's episode, you can watch it back on the BBC iPlayer. Stuart obviously has, because he was reciting his bits. Anyway.
The Apprentice final will be this Sunday on BBC One at 9 o'clock. We'll be talking to both the winner and the runner-up on Monday's programme.
Stella and Chris, of course.
Can I introduce the weather?
Yes,
go
of course
on.
You can.
Okay,
go on.
Right. And here's Carol with a look at this morning's weather.
That was beautifully done. In fact, the best all morning. Good morning. The Met Office still has a weather warning out this morning for ice, and this initially is for Scotland, but increasingly through the morning and through the rest of the day, it will cover much of the rest of the British